Hello everybody, and welcome to another video from Hollywood's World of Sports. This is Hollywood Joe, and tonight I am bringing you another WWE DVD review. I actually went up and got it very early this morning, and I've already watched it. And the name of this DVD is CM Punk, Best in the World. Okay, so before I begin with this DVD review, I just want to share a little personal story that kind of relates to this DVD. Actually, it relates to this DVD a lot. And I remember back, I think it was September of 2002, when I first got high-speed internet, when it was starting to become a huge thing across the country. And I remember a few months after getting it, I came upon a match that was kind of leaked on the internet. The video was leaked, and I remember watching it, and it was a triple threat match. It was Eddie Guerrero, who was just coming back from his release in WWE, was on his way back after overcoming drug and alcohol addiction. It was right before he came back. Rey Mysterio, while he was in between WCW and WWE, about 5 months before he started with WWE. And then the last guy was a pretty interesting, long, bleach blonde hair, black goatee type of guy. And he hailed from Chicago, Illinois, and his name was CM Punk. And I remember watching this match. The match was I believe it was like 20 to 25 minutes long. And I remember just being so impressed that this young guy that I've never even heard of was hanging in there with two established and veteran high-flying cruiserweights, or in Eddie's case, he was kind of a good technician at that point in his career. I was just so impressed how well he carried himself in the ring. And I just remember telling myself from that day that I was going to remember who CM Punk was. And, I followed Punk's career. I wouldn't say hardcore, I wasn't obsessed. But whenever there was any articles or any videos posted of his matches, I would watch them. And, I really loved the matches he had with Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor. Unfortunately, I've not seen all three of the matches in their entireties. I've watched, a lot of the highlight clips of the matches. But from what I've seen out of those highlights, it just looks like some of the best work that the industry has ever seen. And it's funny because I mentioned IWA Mid-South and Ring of Honor. I think if it weren't for watching CM Punk that first time, I wouldn't really care much about what goes on in the indie scene in my own state of Michigan, even the country, because I really gained a lot of knowledge about the independent scene across the country, more importantly in my own state of Michigan. And anyways, now fast forwarding to the DVD, I really like how he brings up IWA Mid-South and Ring of Honor, because those were two very big, important stops in his career, and both promotions helped him get on the map. CM Punk, he's a different breed. A lot of people say that there's a stereotypical thing that Chicago wrestlers or wrestlers from Chicago think that they're better than everybody, and I'll admit CM Punk does come across that way at times, and has that attitude. But CM Punk is probably one of the best wrestlers of this generation, if not the best. I think somebody said it once before. John Cena's this generation's Hulk Hogan, and guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are this generation's Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. And I honestly truly believe that. I've already watched the CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan match from Over the Limit twice today already from the DVD, and when it happened earlier back in May. And it was one of the best matches, best pure technical classic wrestling matches that's happened in that WWE ring in a long time. I also love about this DVD that CM Punk is not shy about how he feels about certain situations and about certain people. And I think that makes the DVD so real, and Phil Brooks' life so real. Because Phil, you don't necessarily see CM Punk in this DVD. You see Phil Brooks in this DVD. Obviously, he has to be CM Punk, but he's very real and doesn't hold back about things. And I think this is going to be the top-selling DVD of the year because of how much momentum and success he's had in the last year and a half. And I still think to this day that the pipe bomb promo from last July really set the tone for how some of the things are happening now, and how they're starting to push the edge just a little bit more. Obviously not as much as a lot of us would like, but I really credit for CM Punk trying to branch out and change things. All the matches on here are really, really great. My favorite Punk match from WWE, it's kind of a toss-up. There's three matches that come to my mind. Survivor Series with Alberto Del Rio, even though that's not on here. The other match that's not on here is the Chicago Street Fight from Extreme Rules this past year against Jericho. And then the last one is on here, and that would be from 2007. It was the last chance match with John Morrison for the ECW Championship, where Punk finally captured the ECW title after 3 pay-per-views of attempting so. And it was a great match, and all the matches on here are really great. Obviously, as a fan, you have your certain favorites, and the two of them I mentioned aren't on there, but I would highly suggest picking up the Extreme Rules DVD from this year anyways, because it was a solid pay-per-view all around. And CM Punk wasn't supposed to make it, and that's what I like about him, is he wasn't supposed to make it, and I can relate on that in so many levels, about things that I've done in my life that I wasn't supposed to do. But I haven't told a lot of people this, and I don't mind telling people this. CM Punk is what Hulk Hogan was to me when I was a child. Hulk Hogan was my hero, hence the name Hollywood, and that's where Hollywood Joe, Hollywood's World of Sports comes from. But he was my hero. I hung and believed on every word he said. Saying your prayers, eating your vitamins, believing in yourself, training as hard as you can. And CM Punk obviously is in a way different spectrum than Hulk Hogan ever was. I truly respect and admired the straight edge lifestyle he lives. I can't say that I fully do it myself, because I do go out and have a drink or two, you know, every once in a while. Maybe I drink maybe 3 or 4 times a year of that. But I respect what he believes. I respect his mind process and how he thinks about things. I love what he's done with, you know, the WWE in the last year and a half. I thought it was long overdue. I thought leading up to that he had been held back so many times. But even on the way of being held back, he had some great feuds with Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, The Undertaker. He's having great feuds. I mean, him and John Cena have been feuding on and off for the last year and a half now, and I think it's a great feud. I think, you know, Cena needs a great wrestler like Punk to work with. And somebody asked me the other day, who do I prefer? What do I prefer, Punk as a heel or Punk as a face? And without a doubt, I prefer CM Punk as a heel by all imagination. I think he makes the best heel in the world, and it's funny to say best in the world because he proclaims himself to be the best in the world. And right now, 324 days as WWE champion, he is the best wrestler in the world. I mean, Sheamus holds the other major title in WWE. Austin Aries holds the TNA World title, and I believe, you know, Kevin Steen still holds the Ring of Honor heavyweight championship. And those 4 heavyweight champions in the 3 big promotions, CM Punk is the best out of any of them. And like I said, this DVD is just a real life story that's very inspiring, that's very brutally honest. If you're not a fan of CM Punk, it would probably make you hate him further. But if you are a fan of pro wrestling, a fan of brutal honesty about pro wrestling and about certain subject matters in the WWE, this is a DVD to get. And like I said before, CM Punk has had a hell of a career so far, and I hope he keeps getting better from here. I don't think he's even scratched the surface yet of what he can do. Maybe in some people's minds he has, but I still think his career is far from over. Let me just say that. And when you get the time, go check this out. CM Punk, Best in the World. 3-disc DVD for regular DVD players. Also on Blu-ray. It's got some more extras on Blu-ray than it does the regular DVD. So check it out today. Thanks guys again for tuning in to another DVD review. And I guess right now I gotta check my watch because it's clobbering time. Best in the world, baby. Don't forget it. And don't forget, controversy doesn't come without criticism at Hollywood's World of Sports.